This is a class that I'm super excited about because we're going to make it kind of a little bit hands-on, and hopefully you guys have the ability to log on to your blog, or if not, we'll help you find where that is, and we're going to actually dive into some things here today. So, I want to give you a really quick intro kind of to where we are, what we're doing. And then we only have an hour, so I want to kind of get moving because it's going to take some time. So, my name is Matt Thompson. I am a realtor in the Denver, Colorado area, and back in the last, I guess, real estate recession, 08, 09, um, was really struggling. So I fortunately was able to learn about blogging in 08. Didn't even know what a blog was, um, but was able to learn about it. Really launched my business back in 08, 09. Kind of got away from it as social media took over a little bit more, and then recently have learned how to combine the two. So, um, really hoping that you guys will be able to use this practically. This is something that I'm doing in my business today. I would say I'm a good producing agent. I'm not a mega agent by any means, but between 25 and 35 homes per year um, is what I sell, and a lot of that comes off of what we're doing here. So, um, because this is a smaller group, if you have questions or you're not sure where I'm going, or if I went too fast on something, please just unmute yourself and interrupt me. In my pre-real estate life, I was a sixth grade teacher, so I might treat you like a 12-year-old, but please understand that's not me being mean. That's just me kind of capping out at my maturity level at 12. So please unmute yourself if you need. But let's look at kind of what we did. So this is part two of the real estate blogging class. Last time we talked about kind of basically what a blog was. Definitionally, it's a web log or a video log. It's like a journal. Practically, what it is it's a great way to help your search engine presence and help people who may be out of state or out of area get to know you before they actually take the time to call you. So that's kind of what we went through in terms of what a blog was. One of the big questions is always, what do you blog about? This group of ideas, the short answer is everything. You know, we're coming into Thanksgiving. I'm assuming, so I'm out in Colorado. I'm assuming most of you are in the Midwest. You probably do the same things that we do around. There's tree lightings and star lightings and Main Street light ups and Thanksgiving parades and Christmas things. There's a whole bunch of community events coming up. Blog about those. Yeah, if somebody's going to go on and Google, hey, what time does the starlighting happen? They could go to the city's website, or better yet, they could go to your website. So do that. If you have interesting people in your community, interview them, talk about them. Yeah, we've got a guy who I'm going to be meeting with next week. He is the great grandson of the very first sheriff of our town, and they're developing their ranch. So I'm going to kind of do a little blog and interview on him. So any of those types of things, really anything that you could think of that somebody would Google, somebody wanting to move to your area, what they would want to know about your area, that's what we want to blog about. Obviously, how does this help you in real estate is the most important thing. There's a whole bunch of real estate education out there that is great, and a whole bunch of tools that you can buy that don't do anything to help you. This is something that I have found practically has really boosted my business. One, it does help you with the search engine presence. What we're going to talk about today, what I'm going to show you today with the help of AI, is really going to boost that. And it's going to make you a go-to for your neighborhood. As I mentioned before, I used to live in the Seattle area in a little town called Gig Harbor, and the city of Gig Harbor actually bought my blog because I was getting so much more traffic to my blog than they were to their website. And so they bought my blog from me to kind of help their own website. And then the interviews with people obviously help you connect with people. Okay, so let's jump into it. Now, I'm going to stop this screen sharing because I'm going to be jumping all over the place today. And I'm going to be actually showing the blog. If you could throw in the chat, because most of you are camera shy, if you could throw in the chat just either a raise of the hand or a yes or a no, how many of you have or at least know where to find a physical blog? Now, if you're a realtor with Key Realty, you've got it on your website. If you're with a different brokerage, just let me know either yes, no, or I don't know. Do you even have a blog that you could access? Not something that you've necessarily started, but something that you could access. Just go ahead and throw that in the chat, either yes, no, or I don't know. So we've got it yes, we've got it I don't know. All right. Okay, we're all over the board. We have yes, no, and I don't knows. So we've got all of them. So the first thing I'm going to encourage you, again, if you are a real estate agent with Key Realty, you've got a blog. You may not know it, but you have one. Okay. Um, if you're with a different brokerage, chances are you've got a provided website that would have a blog on it. So what I want to show is, and let me switch my screen. I want to take you to where your blog would be. I'm going to assume that most of us are Key real estate agents. And if you're not, don't be offended. I'm not recruiting you, any of that sort of thing. I just want to show you where it is. So if you are with Key, you hopefully recognize this screen. This is your login screen. There may be a better way to get to it. I don't know what it is. I come here. If you go to this marketing megaphone on the left, come down to blog, it's going to bring you up to an active blog. Now, if you don't have it, you'll be asked to start it. But this is a reason for you guys to come here. It's free. It's embedded in your website, and it basically acts as a basic Microsoft Word or Google Doc program. It's super easy to work your blogs. So, what does this mean practically? I'm going to show 3 different blogs. I'm actually going to write 3 different blogs with you guys today. The best way, I think, for you to get the most out of today's class, Amber will send out this recording to you later after we've taken it. Have this class up and then have your blog up and kind of go through it step by step. Okay. And I'm going to kind of walk you through how to do it. So, 3 different things. A, we're real estate agents. So, let's do a blog about real estate. So, this morning, I'm a big stat guy. I'm the stat chairman for the board, the statistics board for our realtor board here in South Denver. I love statistics. So I run my own stats. So I went into the MLS today and ran the market statistics for October, and I sent an email out to my database. Okay, here's my email that I sent out. So what I'm going to do, I don't want this just as an email. I'm going to copy this, and every time I try to come in, there we go. I'm going to come into AI. I'm going to come into Chat GPT. Now, this is not an AI class. We could get really into it if we want. I'm going to show you the basics. I'm going to act as if I've got the free version of Chat GPT that anybody can go to. I do have the paid version. I've got some things in the back side of things. You've heard of AI agents. I have all that stuff running. We're not going to do that today. We're going to do this as if you are brand new to Chat GPT. You're afraid of it. You've heard of AI. You don't know if you like it or not. I don't want AI to completely do everything for me. However, I do want them to make everything optimized. So I'm going to come into my free ChatGPT account, which is just chatgpt.com. And it says ask anything. And I'm going to say, I want to write a blog post from the perspective of a top producing real estate agent in Denver. This is going to cover the real estate market statistics from October of 2025. Here are the stats. Can you write a SEO optimized, just a search engine optimized blog post for me using these stats? Okay, so I'm being fairly specific. Okay, telling it I want to be the perspective of a top producing real estate agent, where I am, what I'm going to do. I'm going to copy and paste those stats. And in real time, ChatGPT is going to write my blog post for me. I'm not going to just completely trust it. I want to make it my voice, and in just a minute, we'll change some things. It's still writing. This should be my last stat. Okay. Whoa, it's going to keep going for me. It's even going to, wow, there we go. Okay. Now, so ChatGPT just wrote my blog post for me using those stats that I ran this morning. Now it's going to ask me a question. Do you want me to make this localized for Castle Rock, Douglas County? I'm going to say no to that because I didn't do the stats for local. I did the stats for everywhere else. Okay. But I also want you to watch what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say no, thank you. Okay. Would you like me to hold off on writing blog drafts altogether? Okay, I'm going to wait on that. So now what I'm going to do is I'm literally going to copy and paste what ChatGPT just wrote for me. So I'm going to control copy. I'm going to come back over to my blog. Jay, can you confirm with me that it's going back screen to screen? Are you guys seeing the screens, or is it just showing one?
Nope, you're all good.
Perfect. Thanks. Okay. So in my key blog, I'm just going to click on add new article. This stuff is pretty basic, but I'm going to come back to this in just a minute. Okay. Because you might look at this and go, I don't know what tags are. I don't know the title. I don't know what a meta title, meta description, all that stuff. Great. You don't need to. I'm going to paste it. Okay. Well, this looks like my title. So I'm going to cut this and I'm going to put it up in the title of my blog. Okay. Denver Metro Real Estate, October 25, whatever buyer and seller should know. Now I'm going to read through it to make sure that this sounds like me. Then retro real estate continues to show signs of seasonal cooling, also sales shifts, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So I'm basically checking that I agree with what it means. I'm checking to make sure that the numbers are what I put them in. I'm not going to change much of this because it's doing a SEO optimized for me. And I don't want to change too much of that. Okay. Now I might change here what this means. So you'll notice our average sales price versus our median sales price were drastically different. And so what I'm going to change here is I'm going to put clearly there were some high priced. It is so hard to type when you feel like you're under pressure. Luxury home sales this past month. Okay. Homes that sell are commanding strong prices, blah, blah, blah. Days on market, months of inventory. I'm not going to do Matt's take because that sounds stupid. I'm going to say my take, not my's take. My take. Market is rewarding realisms. Okay. Would I ever say this as a Denver realtor working across Douglas County? Blah blah blah. I'm seeing to. That's not my language. However, ChatGPT is telling me this is what's going to be most SEO optimized. So I'm going to leave that. Whether you're in Castle Rock, I can help you with these October numbers, blah, blah, blah. Let's connect. Real estate knowledge. That's all my stuff. Great. My blog is done. Now, if I come back up, and you can add things or change things, I'm going to look at this and go, well, categories, I already have some categories selected, so I'm going to check real estate. But meta title, I don't know what a meta title is. I'm not techie enough to know what a meta title is. I don't know what a meta description is. Even though I like blogging, I don't know what those are. So I'm going to come back into my Chat GPT. And I'm going to put, sorry. I don't know what in the world this is. I don't know what happened here. So, oh, ask anything. I'm going to say, can you create a meta title and meta, what was the other thing that we had? Meta description. Description for this blog. Because I don't know what those things are. Meta title. And it tells me why. I'm going to be honest and say, I don't care why. I'm just going to copy the meta title. I'm going to put it in there. Whoa. Sorry, every time I try to go up and change screens, the little zoom thing pops down and prevents. Okay. Meta description tells me what's going on. Control copy. Meta description, control paste. Overview page caption. I don't know what that is either. So, can you give me an overview page caption for this blog? Absolutely. Caption options, blah, blah, blah. It's going to tell me different options that I can use. I'm going to choose market analyst because that's kind of how I like to be. Copy, paste. Okay. Now I can choose an image. I can do all that kind of stuff, but I'm going to save this for now as a draft. But if I can just click publish article, now I have a fully optimized blog that's in there that I didn't have to do much about. Okay. So it's a really quick, really easy way to do it. Now, we just talked about the fact that nobody wants to just do real estate. We talked about community events, all that sort of thing. So I live on a horse ranch here in Denver, and I love everything equestrian about what we've got in the Western style. So I went out on my deck this morning and took a picture at sunrise. I want to do an article that's going to help establish me as an equestrian realtor, but I don't want it to be a real estate blog. I want it to be a personal blog. So I'm going to go back into Chat GPT and I'm going to come into new chat and I'm going to say, I am a realtor specializing in equestrian properties. I took this photo from my property. I'm going to change that. I'm going to say from my horse property this morning. Can you help me write a blog that sounds more personal than professional, that can still focus on horse properties in Douglas County? Okay. And I am going to add a photo to it. All right. So pictures uploaded. I told it what I am. I'm a realtor specializing in equestrian properties. I want a blog, but I want it to be personal, professional. I don't know what this is going to turn out to be. So we'll see what it says. I kind of love this. So ChatGPT came in and said something about mornings like this that remind me why I love living and working in Douglas County. I snapped this photo just as the sun started to rise over the Front Range. I'm going to change that because it was actually over Pikes Peak. Blah, 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 blah. For me, this is what Colorado living is realtor special. Words like this aren't just beautiful. Okay. I actually really like this. I don't know where any of this came from, but it sounds good to me. So I'm going to copy it. Morning reflections from my horse property in Douglas County. I'm going to come into my blog. I'm going to add new article. We'll deal with categories and tags later. Morning reflections from a Douglas County horse ranch. We'll call it that. I'm going to paste this in here. Looks pretty good. It's even adding in different things here. Now, I want to show you this too. Let's pretend you don't like this. Let's pretend you're reading this right now and you go, why in the world am I taking the class from this guy? That sounds terrible. Okay. It's asking me, do you want an SEO optimized version of this? Well, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. So I'm going to say, yes, please. Now it's giving me meta title, meta descriptions. All that stuff is in there. So I'm going to add that. And it's going to be a little bit more SEO optimized with things bolded and things like that. Doesn't sound, oh, it even gives me link suggestions. So I can embed those links. I can go to my website and just create those links. I can add my photo. Notice it's starting to understand. So I was about to ask for this for the class sake, but it's starting to understand what I want. Do you want me to create a shorter social media version of this? Why, yes, because this class is blogging and social media. So I'm going to say, yes, please. It's going to give me an Instagram and Facebook caption to do. It's going to give me a LinkedIn to do. And it's going to ask me, do I want a Pinterest or Google business profile version? Well, I want the Google business profile version because that to me matters. So let me show you what that is. If I go into Google business, this is
Hey,
my,
Matt,
yeah, go ahead.
we do have one question in the chat. While we're talking about SEO, Melissa Mantia asked if you are also looking into AEO, answer engine optimization yet, or if you're just still sticking with SEO.
That is a fantastic question. Melissa, I am just doing the SEO. But I want to give me 1 second. I'm going to go back to that. I haven't had that question before teaching this class and I love it. And so I want to try something. Okay. I love that. So what they're asking, these little posts right here are the Google posts. Now, obviously for search engine optimization, Google loves Google posts. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, I would love a Google business profile version. It's going to do that. Maybe. Or it's not going to do that. Okay. It's thinking. Okay. So now it just did a perfectly optimized, it's the 400 characters or whatever it is, and that. So, Melissa, let me go to your question. Is there a way to make this AE? Answer, is it AEO or AIO?
Yeah, it's AEO. So just for context, I usually give instruction to make the article both SEO and AEO optimized. So it'll do the whole article. So Google likes it, the SEO likes it, and search like through chat likes it too, because
Got
you're
it.
starting to be able to be discovered that way.
Let's see what it says. because that's a huge piece to it, because people are going to Chat GPT and all that sort of thing to find that. So it's going to give me an AEO optimized Google profile post, the answer optimized.
Mhm.
And it's going to explain to you what AEO is, why that works for you, what the tone is. Here's ways to enhance it. What I hope that you all are getting from this, I am not an AI expert. I am in a free version of Chat GPT, and I am simply typing in exactly what I want. Treat me as though I'm a realtor with 20 years of experience. Treat me as if I'm a top producing realtor. Okay. And you can come back in. Let's say I didn't like that first blog post. Can you make it sound a little more personal? Maybe add in some humor. And the Chat GPT took this photo right after sunrise, coffee in one hand, pitchfork in the other. Chat GPT thinks it's funny. I don't know if I agree that their sense of humor is what I would, but there you go. And then you can then go in and edit it. The whole purpose of this is not necessarily to just let AI do it for you, but I don't even know where to start. If I'm going to write a blog on this, had I written a blog on that photo, let me go back up and see where my photo went. So if I had written a blog, so this is the photo I took off my deck this morning, my blog would have sounded something like this. I live on a horse property in Castle Rock, and boy, was today's sunrise pretty. Golly. I mean, like, I don't know what to write. And so by doing this, I can take something that I know matters. I don't want to sound super businessy, but I don't want to sound completely uneducated, which I kind of am when it comes to this side of things. So I have ChatGPT write it for me. Now, if there's something that you don't like, ask it to change it, or you can change it yourself. Okay. My oldest daughter is terrified of AI. She's 18 and she hates it and she thinks it's going to take over the world and it's from the devil. And I agree that it can be. And the way that I like to interact with it is, what if you were my assistant? If I had a little L-shaped desk over here and my assistant was actually sitting next to me and I sent her this blog post and she helped me write it, that's what I'm looking for. Okay. And so you can come in and guys, you can get as specific with this as you want. Okay. And notice it's trying to learn what I want. Do you want me to now write the matching FAQ schema set? I don't even know what that is. You can add to your blog post. Yeah, I don't know what that is. So sure, give me that. And I'm just going to see what it says. It's giving me two different responses. Okay, different questions. I love this. How much land do I need for horses? That's a popular question that people may not know. So that's a really good thing to ask. What are the best areas for horse properties? And this is correct. This is like it knows where to go. Now, if this wasn't correct, I could change that. Okay. Yeah, curb appeal, I couldn't care less for horses, so I'm going to take that out. But the zoning rights, the water rights, fencing, all that stuff, these are great questions for me to know. So I can go in now and add this to my Google profile post, okay, in the AEO voice, your authentic Matt Thompson style voice. Okay. this is a lot of things. We want to create a matching set of voice search snippets. No, I think we're getting a little too much for me here. Now, the nice thing is all of these are going to save. Okay, they're going to save in my projects over here. So I don't need to worry about trying to copy and paste them or anything like that. I can do that. I can email it, but then I can come over to my blog. I'm going to say this is a draft. And I now have a blog post. I have social media posts. I have Google profile posts, and they're just sitting here in ChatGPT. Okay. All right. I saw a bunch of chat things pop up. So I'm going to, there's the AEO. Didn't know about that. Learning more. It was important. Recording. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So super easy things. Now we've got half an hour left. So I want to do one more blog post idea just to kind of show you how to do this. So I'm going to come back up to a new chat. Everything just disappeared, but you'll notice, uh-oh, down there, it's supposed to come in there. We'll see if it shows back up in just a second. So if I come up here, I just put a new house on the market today. And I'm going to ask it, can you help me write an SEO? And I'm just learning about AEO, so we're just going to put this in. Optimized blog post on a new home for sale in Castle Rock. I want this. Some of you, I think somebody posted in the chat earlier that you're either new to real estate or you just got back in. So I'm going to do this. I want this from the perspective of a real estate agent with 10 years of experience selling homes in Castle Rock. The house is a 4-bed, 4-bath, updated home. Ooh, updated? How about call it updated home with mountain views in the Meadows neighborhood. It is half-mile from Clear Creek. So all I'm doing is just telling you about the house. It's half-mile from Clear Creek Elementary School. It's half-mile from Ridgeline Trailhead and mountain biking. The yard is more private than the other yards. Okay, guys, I'm trying to dumb this down like to as much as I possibly can. Inside has nice granite and new hardwood floors. I'm just going to leave it at that. See what it comes up with. Okay, now if you're new, you probably don't want to put this first sentence in, and you can just use the things from there. But you can say, after years of living in Castle Rock, I can say one thing's never going to sell. Now, I also do want to say this. ChatGPT does not necessarily understand fair housing laws. So it might say something that violates race, religion, family, something along those. So be very, very, very careful. Okay. So this is a pretty conversational sounding blog post. Okay. So we've got for active families. That's kind of a violation of fair housing. So I'm going to try this. Isn't it fun doing classes live? Can you check this for any fair housing law violations? See what it says. No violations detected. Well, you don't know the law very well. So For active families could be bored. Whoa, GPT is smart. Okay. So this to me is a red flag, and I don't know if I would be willing to use it or not. It's not implying who should live there, it's implying who could. Okay. But if you want to be extra cautious, which yes, I do, for those who love, great. It tells me how to change it. Optional edits. It's telling me things that are in the original that might have violated fair housing, and it's telling me how to change that. That's pretty darn slick. Okay.
Hey, Matt,
Yeah, go for it.
when you are doing your initial prompt, right, where you're telling about all the property info, you can tell it at that point to ensure that it complies with fair housing
Yeah.
rules for a real estate agent. And then you should get a better output from the beginning, but you can always
Yeah.
go
I just didn't think about
backwards.
that when I first did it. That's a
Yeah,
great point.
yep. So
That's a
it
great
will
point.
do it. I've been playing around with it and it's been pretty good about following the rules, but always still proofread it.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to proofread it. And so basically what Melissa's saying, she's right. And I just didn't think about it in time. Up here, when I was telling it what I wanted it to do, I could have simply typed in, please make sure that this adheres to all fair housing. Okay. Now, let's say this house doesn't, but let's say, for example, this house had a main floor master, which for some reason Colorado thinks that everybody that lives here is 35 years old and fit. And so there are no homes in Colorado that have main floor masters, but let's pretend this one did. I could add in, oh yeah, this has a main floor, I can't say master, sorry, primary bedroom, perfect for those who can't do stairs. Can you incorporate that? And can you make it slightly more professional and less personal sounding? Oh, see, it knows what I'm asking for already. Thank you. Trying to trick it and it won't let me trick it. Okay. So here's how you can include it as a neutral based thing. Okay. And now it's going to rewrite it fair housing compliant, more professional, less conversational. Okay. Now, it's going to already give me the meta title because I just asked for that last time. It's already given me the meta description because I asked, it knows what I want. I asked it for a Google business profile last time, and we asked for AEO. Guys, I will be honest with you, I had never heard of AEO until Melissa brought it up 20 minutes ago. ChatGPT already knows what I'm starting to look for, so it's adding that in. So my assistant, who's sitting right here next to me, is learning what it is I'm looking for, okay, and starting to give that to me. Now, let's say, and you got to be careful here, I'm a stats guy. Could you add in some real estate statistics for Castle Rock? I don't know where it's pulling these from yet. It's going to tell me. So it's going to rewrite my blog post. Okay. Here it's telling me what the stats are, and it's giving me a link to those stats. So I can go and click and say, okay, yeah, that's right. And so now I can hyperlink. It won't let me close out because it keeps, there we go. So now I can hyperlink to these stats. So if you're not somebody who likes running statistics, I love running my own stats, but you just want to include them, okay? It gives you the link and you can link back to that. It's not plagiarizing as long as you are sharing where that came from. So it has written a blog post for me. So just today, here we go. So they're all here. Just today, in the last 30 minutes, we have written 3 SEO optimized blog posts with stuff that we don't even know what they are. I don't know what a meta title is. I don't know what a meta description is. I don't know what an overview caption is. All I know is that my blog is asking me for those things. So if I go to add new article, it's asking me for categories and tags and all this stuff. Let's say I don't have categories and tags yet. What would be some good blog categories to include? It's going to tell me a list of categories. Maybe. There we go. Here's categories that I can put in my blog. Now, this is all optimized for my blog, and it's telling me what I can put in there. So when I come back to my key blog or whatever brokerage you're with, you most likely have something very similar to this. You can come in and add all of these things to make it SEO optimized so that when you then go to your blog, it's done properly for you and to help that. So there's a consistency that's needed in this. There's a regularity that's needed in this. What I'm hoping that you are seeing in this is there is absolutely no prior knowledge or technical knowledge needed for this. If you have never written a blog post in your life and you didn't know until 40 minutes ago that you even have access to a free blog, my hope is that looking at what we've done here with just these 3 things, that you can say, oh, that's something I could actually do today. I could go take a picture of a pretty fall scene in my neighborhood, or maybe you've got a cool little downtown or a neighborhood square or something like that. Let me come in and just show you. I want to show you one more example that I've already done. Just to show you how simple this is. So this one here, this Castle Rock Collective, there's a coffee shop in downtown Castle Rock that is run by a church for adults with disabilities. And I absolutely love this coffee shop, and nobody knows about it. So I went to my blog. I took a picture. And by the way, this is an AI edited picture. It made it pop. I took the picture and there were big shadows and stuff on the building. You can see kind of where the sun was. And I wanted those showers off. Now, the shadows off. Now, if you look closely at the door, AGSBENE means nothing. ChatGPT saw that there was a giant shadow across the door. And so it took that shadow off. Now, nobody has read this blog post and gone, what's AGSBENE? Okay. Yes, they close it. Everything else is exactly the same. Like this is, if you walked in, this is what you would see. But I asked ChatGPT to make that picture better for me. Let's do that here really quick, just to show you. I'm going to use that. Can you edit this photo to really make it pop? Okay, I'm going to show you this. We're going to use that same picture that I used of the sunrise this morning. And then I'm going to go back to show you, sorry. So I did a photo. That's the original photo. You can kind of get an idea. I've got my 2 horse trailers. That's Pikes Peak in the background. It's going to think on that for a minute, so I'm going to come back. So I did this one with a very personal tone. Asked it to do coffee shops SEO optimized. And it came up with coffee shop with a heart. Like I wouldn't have thought of any of that. It told me, remember when it said, here's some hyperlinks you can do? it gave me ideas. So here's a hyperlink that I can do. So it's operated by Wellspring. I click on that and it brings me up to Wellspring's website. That helps me with SEO optimization. Okay. There are other places in here that you can do it. This is another photo that I took and I just asked it to clarify that for me. Categories, restaurants, coffee shops, all that sort of thing. So if you have a coffee shop that you like to go to that does not have a green mermaid as its logo, this would be a great thing to write a blog about. If there's a specific restaurant that you like, if there's a charter school or a private school or a church, be careful on some of this stuff because, again, you don't want to violate fair housing. You don't want to get political. People are like, oh, you don't want to talk politics or religion or whatever. I can't personally separate my faith from my business. And so I don't mind talking about that, but I'm not going to preach or evangelize. I'm just going to say, hey, here's a great youth group, or we did an Easter egg hunt for kids with disabilities, that sort of thing. You can blog on those and ask ChatGPT or whatever, Gemini or whatever you use, to come and SEO optimize for you. Still thinking over there. And just give you a quick idea of what I have blogged on in the last couple weeks. Coffee shop, house I have for sale, another house I have for sale. This one's a great one. The healing impact of horses in Greater Denver. I knew that people were looking for the equine assisted. So my daughter and her horse club did a event for seniors and kids with disabilities. One of my friends got this picture, which, holy cow, still chokes me up. So my license plate on my truck is horsepower. And yes, my truck has a ton of horsepower, but that's not what it means. And so I went through and hyperlinked several things to talk about my daughter's horse club. And if people are looking for equine assisted services, this is a SEO optimized blog for EAS, equine assisted services, people looking for that, and youth equestrians. And it's hyperlinked 3 times to different shows and different events that my daughter's horse club is doing. Whew, I was not expecting that to get me going again. But for some reason, that picture always does. So literally anything that you're doing, anything that you want to be the go-to person for, that's what we can do. That's awful. That's terrible. So there's the original. That's what it came up to. So I can tell it, whoa, can you tone that down a lot? Okay. And it's probably going to agree with me and go through whatever. But you can come through and do, it's going to do that. I'm going to stop sharing because that's not what we care about. All right. 10 minutes left. What I need to do now, I want 2 things from you guys. Either A, throw a question out at me, or B, share with the people that are on here what is going to be your either first or your next blog post from what we did today. If all you did is watch this and you go home and you're like, or you're probably already at home, and you log off of this and you say, that was fun or that was good, that does me no good. The only way I feel good about myself after this class is if you say, oh my gosh, I got this out of it and here I'm going to do. Okay. All right. So Jay, I'm going to call you guys out if you don't unmute yourself. So Jay said the market stats, I'm afraid of blogging it, but I'm going to give it a shot. Awesome. So again, Jay, you have 2 choices, or really 3 choices. You can run the stats yourself through the MLS, which is what I do. You can go to your title rep and have them give you the stats, or you can just ask ChatGPT. That one makes me the most nervous. So if your title rep will send you the monthly stats, or if you run them, literally just take the actual raw numbers, throw it into ChatGPT and say, can you write me a blog post? Act as if I'm a 20-year experienced realtor, blah, 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 however you want to do it. Or can you make these numbers make sense to a first-time home buyer who doesn't know, like, know your audience and do it. Okay. Awesome. So Jay, take that CSV, literally, if you saved that as a Excel file, when you come into your chat GPT, I'm not sharing anymore. When you go into chat GPT, click on the little plus in the lower left-hand corner and add a file, and literally just add that file in and say, here are the stats. It will read that CSV Excel file and it will make a blog post for you. Could not be easier. And then play with it. Do you want this simple for everybody? Do you want this to make you look like the pro? And talk about the tone you want. Okay. Teresa, great question. How often do you post blogs? My goal is twice a week. In reality, it's about once a week. I think ideal would probably be 3-ish times a week. Okay. And remember, you can then do afterwards, please make this a optimized social media post. Okay. Amber, do you ask the chat for blog ideas? Yeah, absolutely. That's what I've got a AI agent that is my blog, and and I have it, I set up a task for it that every Monday, Chat GPT emails me. So I put in the chat prompt is every single Monday, I want you to email me blog ideas based on previous week's news reports of Castle Rock and the surrounding area. So every Monday morning, I get an email from ChatGPT. Now that's the paid version. That's the $20 a month version. But the free version, you could just go on there and do it. Ronnie, have you ever blogged about anything that someone found offensive? Yes. This will tell you a little bit about who I am, which is neither a good nor a bad thing. It was super awkward, but I wrote about my daughter goes to a private school because I think the public schools in Colorado are an absolute circus at best. And I'm going to use the word circus because this is being recorded. So I wrote an article on my daughter's private school, and it was not received well by a wife of a school board member here in Douglas County. And I posted it on my Facebook, and she had commented on my Facebook, and she commented on my blog. My answer to that was, I don't care. And so my response comment to her, I just deleted her comment off my blog. And I kept it on my Facebook, and I simply said, thank you for your opinion. I'm sure your husband agrees with you. I appreciate all his work. I just don't think he's taking our school district in the right direction. And I just left it at that. So yes, you can definitely be offensive, and I don't care. What I would say on that, Castle Rock sells about 4,000 homes a year. So that's 8,000 sides, buy side, sell side. I want 30 of them. If I get 30 sales in a year, I'm happy. So if I only want 30 out of 8,000, that means I'm allowed to offend 7,970 people a year. And I am fine doing that. So, be okay with that. Melissa, go ahead and unmute yourself and throw some things out there.
Yeah. Okay. So Ronnie's probably heard this. Ronnie's from my area. So some things you can do if you're working like a specific neighborhood, or you want to become known for being like the go-to agent in a neighborhood, you can go to RPR and dial it down to like local neighborhood data, right? And so you can pull that, maybe it's a monthly thing that you do. So you can pull that out and use that data and feed it into Chat GPT and have it even write a blog on that specific thing. And then that'll start to position you as an authority in that market. With your blog articles, if you start with that as your content, like your main piece of content, you can break that down, like you were saying, Matt, and spider it out into, maybe it's a LinkedIn post, maybe you have, multiple Facebook posts that take some kind of a variant of that article. And if you want, you can link them back to your blog, which goes back to your website, right? But don't put the link in your copy, because Facebook is gonna suppress it if you're taking people off their site. So if you put something like link in comments and then put the link to the article in your first comment, then they don't penalize you. So it's a way to keep driving traffic back to your website. So those are a couple things that I did. Oh, and another thing I found, I was scheduling some posts in what is it, the Meta Business Suite, and I noticed up in the right-hand corner the other day, it had a heads up that this Saturday is National Cappuccino Day. So that's something non-real estate related. It could be community related. So I took that and I went into chat. I'm like, okay, I want to write about National Cappuccino Day on November, I think it's the 8th. 7, 8, yeah, I think the 8th or 9th, something like that. And so I gave it some specifics, like I want you to look in the Grand Rapids, Michigan market, find me the top 3 coffee shops that are locally owned, that have gluten-free baked items and have fair trade coffee. So I got really specific on what I wanted, and then it searched and it gave me the top 3. And then I asked it to write me a blog article. I think it was like, I told it how many words. I fed it my voice, right? And I have my company theme, if you will. And so it wrote it kind of more in my voice and approach. And now I've got a blog article ready to go for Coffee Day. So you can
Love
tie
it.
those back to your community too, and
Love
things
it.
that like you dig. So.
Yep. And guys, I'm going to share this really quick because this is kind of fun, I think. So we talked about that was my original picture. That's what it gave me. I told it to tone me way down. That's what it came up with. Notice how it cleaned up like all the junk that we had there, and made it much softer. So it will. What the reason I share that is I don't want you guys to be you can't break it. You can ask it to do anything. And if you don't like what it did, imagine literally that it's your assistant sitting next to you and be like, that didn't work. Can you try this? And it will start to learn. Amber, like you mentioned, didn't know that it would email you. And Melissa, to what you said, so I've got the $20 a month version. Another prompt that I have is every Friday I get emailed and it says, tell me what you noticed about the real estate market this week. And I literally just go into the 24-hour market watch of my MLS, way fewer pendings, way more solds, and I put that in. And then every month it compiles that into another blog post for me. Melissa has a great point on the social media side. Do not link to your blog in your posts because none of the social media sites want anything that you are going to click on and take you away. They make their money by you staying on their site. So put that in a comment. But my hope for you guys, and before we log off here, you've got 1 minute, but before you log off, please write down something that you are going to do with this class next. Even if that something is, I'm going to type chat GPT into my browser bar. And when it says, ask me anything, I'm going to type something in there. If you've never used AI before and it scares you to death, I get it. Please just pretend it's an assistant and type something in there. Okay. If you've never opened up your blog, please just go to your blog and see what it looks like. What we're trying to do here, if you're a newer agent or a less productive agent, we're trying to get you an advantage over experienced, more productive agents. When I moved from Seattle to Denver, I was in the top 1% of producing agents in Seattle. I sold over 100 homes a year, 3 years in a row. And then I moved to Denver and I didn't know a soul in the state of Colorado. I bought a different franchise here and I was terrified. This is what I used to get me back into expert status. So please use this. Yeah, Veronica, if you have the paid version of ChatGPT, it will email you. You can give it, so that's where AI agents come in. You can set up, and I know it's time to go, but I'm going to show this really quick. So you'll see I've got social media, my blog, client care, videos, and reels. These are departments of my business. And each of these I gave a different task. Imagine you are a copywriter. Imagine that your job is to help a real estate agent work with his clients. Imagine that you are and this one I said, you're a 21-year-old fresh out of college helping a real estate agent that doesn't know anything about reels. And so I type that in, that becomes their persona. And so now when I come into that persona and type in a new chat in here, it's operating out of that persona and it will email you ideas. So that's if you want to do the paid version, but if you haven't started, I wouldn't go there yet. So please just figure out, what are you going to do today? Are you going to go to your blog? Are you going to open up Chat GPT? Yolanda, I love what you're saying. I need to be consistent about that. And the auto posting, I've got that too. I've got a company called, I think it's Back At You Media, and and it's like, yeah, but all that stuff is super generic. So, Giovanna, if you went into Chat GPT and said, I want to post once a day something about whatever the town is that you specialize in, that's going to create an auto post for you that's specific to you and what you like. Okay. Yeah, Delisa, so really come in, do something with this. That's the only thing I can beg of you is don't come in and go, oh, shoot, that's another thing to do. If you sell 20 to 30 homes a year, that's 2 to 3 a month. That means you've got a lot of time in your day. If you dedicated 30 minutes a day, 2 or 3 days a week to this, it will transform your business. And I would go so far as to say 20 to 30 or 30 minutes a day, 2 to 3 days a week on blogging and social media this way, I would say is going to add 3 to 5 transactions a year to your bottom line. Okay. Jay, thank you so much for putting that in the chat. If you guys are not looking at the chat, if you don't know how to set up your blog, Jay just gave his email address for you to go in there. Melissa put hers in there as well. Guys, this is a community. Use it. Okay. If these people are willing to help you out, do it. Amber has my contact information. You guys can reach out to her if you've got questions, or you can just Google me, or just ask ChatGPT, who is the most brilliant real estate blog mind in all of Douglas. Now, don't do that because it's going to send you to somebody else. But please use this for you. I genuinely believe that this will increase your bottom line by making you an expert. And if nothing else, it will get you out of the house. Like some of those blog ideas are going to be, go talk to the secretary at the local elementary school and ask her what she loves about living there. You just added a new person to your database who's an influencer in the community. Okay. Really greatly appreciate you guys. Amber is going to be emailing out the recording to this as soon as that's been processed. Please use Jay, please use Melissa, please use me, please use Amber as resources, but please do something with this. It's not going to work if you just go, that was fun, and on to the next thing. Okay. I'll hang out here for just a minute in case you guys have some questions that you want to ask offline. Otherwise, thank you so much. Appreciate you all.
Good job, Matt. Thanks for doing this.
Thanks to all three of you.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Say that
Hi,
again.
Tom.
So Amber mentioned we've got the business planning clinic coming up on December 18th. So that's a great one too, to really
Sweet.
drill down on what you are wanting to do and be geared in and have very clear numbers. So you're not just flying by the seat of your pants. It will clarify kind of a month by month, week by week activities that you need to do to make next year profitable for you.
And maybe that's adding in your, consistency, right? With posting blogs,
Yep.
add that right into your plan.
Yep, absolutely.
Mhm, mhm. Have you played around with just using the microphone instead of typing at all?
I
For
have.
your,
Yeah. Yeah. And it's usually pretty good. I'm not
Mhm.
sharing, so that doesn't show you any good. I just switched over to do it.
No,
But yes,
yeah.
I've clicked on the microphone and it's I feel it's very effective and it's much
Mhm.
faster.
Mhm.
I
I
don't know
felt
why I
like it
chose.
was, I've been playing around with like some longer prompts too, just by talking to it.
Mhm.
And not necessarily having a complete organization of how I want things to go, but making sure I get important things that I want to cover and maybe context. And so
Mhm.
even if my prompt is like this long, it does take it and it organizes it and it puts it like in a really beautiful way to put out there in like this amount of time.
Yeah. No,
So that's been
it's
really
remarkable.
helpful.
It will
Mhm.
truly act as an assistant.
Yeah.
It's um as you go through and do it, it's
Mhm.
not, I think so many people think that it's a amplified version of search, and that's
Oh
not at
gosh,
all
no,
what it is. It
no.
is a partner in your business. Um,
Mhm.
like my actual real live person assistant, she
Mhm.
doesn't do my work for me, but boy, she makes my work a whole lot more. Like I don't do dates and deadlines. She
A
does all
hundred
my dates
percent.
and deadlines and organizes me and helps all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah.
it's uh it's super
Mhm.
key. And now Chat GPT can take a lot of that as well.
Mhm.
And my
Mhm.
assistant's gotten very, very good at it as well. So
Yeah.
it's simplified down
Mhm.
what we are able to do
Mhm.
and taken things like blog posts and social media posts that I
Mhm.
know how to do. I just
Mhm.
didn't know how to
They
do
take time.
well.
Mhm.
Yeah, they took more time
Yeah.
and I
Yep.
didn't know how to optimize them. And
Mhm.
they
Or even
do.
how to come up with the ideas, right?
Mhm.
'Cause you're tend to run dry sometimes. Like, what do I write about
Yeah.
today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's fun. It's fun.
Yeah. No, I enjoy it.
Mm.
All right.
Cool beans.
Thank
Nice
you
to see
so
everybody. Hi,
much.
Tom.
Hello. Hi, Matt. Can you hear me?
I can. Yeah.
My name's Tom. I actually live here in the Grand Rapids market
Mhm.
area, but I used to live in Castle Rock,
Did you really?
Mhm.
and I was a high school teacher at Chaparral, high school biology and PE. So when you talk about the woes of the public school system out there, I understand because
You
I
have
was out
lived
there. Now
that.
I'm here because of some of those woes, and unfortunately, a lot of my coworkers are no longer in Douglas County schools.
Yeah.
They've switched into different school districts. So I hear you.
And shockingly, Douglas County is still one of the more sane in the area if you compare it to Jeffco. But
Yeah.
my daughter just ran in the state cross country championships on Saturday, and we were set right up next to the Chaparral tent.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's
Yeah. I used to coach track at Chaparral too.
did you
Yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
Very
So
fun.
we
It's
lived on the Black Feather townhomes
okay.
right across from the skate park. So everything you referenced about Castle Rock and the neighborhoods and the coffee shop, I'm very familiar with all of that.
Yeah, no, that's super fun. That's I actually just sold a townhome down in the Black Feather. No, that's not true. It was Red Hawk. Sorry, right after the Red Hawk golf course. So
Okay.
that's well, you know why I love it here, but living in Grand Rapids, I also bet that you understand why we're thinking of when the kids graduate that there might be a different place to go. It is very expensive here, and
Yeah, it's tough.
it's
Yeah.
just going downhill in a lot of areas. But
Well, we moved from there down to Colorado Springs, and
okay,
Mhm.
Colorado Springs is becoming a bit difficult as well
Yeah.
in its
it's
own way.
it's
My
challenging. We've
daughter.
got
Yeah.
two Air Force cadets that we sponsor, and so they come up
Mhm.
here and hang out on the weekends and when they have time off and all that stuff. And it's
Mhm.
one of them's from Montana and one of them is from Guam, and they
Mhm.
even Colorado Springs has gotten yeah, it's just
Yeah.
it's grown so much,
Yeah,
and it's
just
it's changing.
it's a fast
My
paced.
daughter was stationed there.
Oh, was
She
she?
was, yeah, she's in Utah now, but yeah, she was in the Springs, and
Is she Air Force?
I think, yeah, she is. So
Okay.
I think what she loved the most was her Pikes Peak was literally in her backyard. Like you walk
Yeah.
out the back door and it's like right there.
Yeah.
The rest of it, eh.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to think. So I grew up in Utah, in northern Utah, in Park City. And
Okay.
is it Hill? Is that the Air
She's a
Force?
Hill. Yeah,
Okay.
she lives in South Ogden right now.
Okay.
And she's like, yeah, it's kind of expensive, Mom. I'm like, yep.
It
She's
is
paying
my
probably double what I pay for my mortgage. So
yeah. My
Yeah.
parents are still just outside of Park City in a little town called Heber, but there was a old wooden gym, like the dome was all
Oh.
wooden on Hill Air Force Base, and that's where we would play our
Oh yeah.
middle school junior jazz basketball games.
Oh
And
wow.
yeah, I
That's
can't
wild.
imagine that thing is still there because it was
Yeah,
scary
I don't know. I
living
know
in school.
she ended up getting a gym membership because she didn't like the gym on base. So
Okay.
maybe it
Well,
is.
40 years ago it was in
She
bad
might
shape.
not
So
like it. Yeah.
I don't know if it's still there, but yeah, no, Colorado's beautiful, and
Mhm.
we're fortunate to have the horse property and stuff here, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's my daughter's looking at a school in Kentucky right now, and we just did a college visit out there, my oldest, and
Mhm.
man, it's for about a third of what we bought this for. I could get a
Mhm.
Yep.
pretty nice home down there, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Um,
Colorado's it's a great place to live. It can wear you out a little bit. I think
Mhm.
trying to keep up with the pace and the lifestyle and the politics and all that stuff. But when we moved back here to the Grand Rapids area, we were like, ah, it was just kind of a sense of like, we
Can
can kind of
breathe.
slow down and yeah, and enjoy other aspects of things here that you couldn't get out even in Colorado. But
no, it's interesting because my 18-year-old, she doesn't travel at all. Like
mm,
she, other than if the horse trailer's behind the truck, she'll go. But unless the horse trailer's there, she will not travel. And so that was when we went to Kentucky, that was a first for her. She's like, Dad,
Mm.
like people hold the door for you here. People look at you and say hello. Like
Mhm.
we're not racing on the freeway. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, just little things that an 18-year-old was able to look at and go,
Mhm.
it's just a different feel. And
Mhm.
yeah, there's great people here, and we've had season tickets down at Air Force football forever and
Yeah.
mhm.
all that kind of stuff. And I love my youngest daughter, she's just a freshman in high school, but she loves running, and I love the fact that she's getting the altitude training up here, and then she can go off to
Mhm.
college somewhere else.
Yep.
But so there's a lot of great things, but it just
Yeah.
um, yeah, there's other
Mhm.
places in the world that are nice too, but
Mhm.
it is fun here because we are literally centered. Whoever built our house was brilliant. We are centered on Pikes Peak, and so I have this
Nice. Yeah.
unobstructed. It's a
Mhm.
little bit hazy right now because I think we've got a fire going because we've had
Mhm.
nonstop wind the last 2 days. So I think
Yeah.
there's a fire down there, but
Mhm.
it is nice having the unobstructed Pikes Peak view. So
I was just on a Zoom call with a friend of mine. He's is there Spanish Peaks area there
that's
in
down south.
Colorado?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. Him and his wife just moved from they were closer to Denver before. I'm trying to remember where they were at. But they moved out. They're on, I forget how many thousand-acre ranch now out there. And it's like in the middle of nowhere. And they have like 7 neighbors during the winter that are quite far away. And he said it's
Yeah.
glorious.
No, the Spanish Peaks are stunning. I mean, that's where you start
Yeah.
getting down into the Telluride, Durango, that area.
Yep.
But,
Yep.
it's yeah, it's a different world for sure.
Yeah. Yep. For
Yeah.
sure.
So
Anywho.
perfect.
All right.
All right,
I'm
guys. Well,
gonna
I'm gonna
run.
let you go.
So much.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Yep.
Appreciate
you.
it. Tom, if you
Yeah.
ever make
Thanks
it
for
back
doing
out
this.
this way, or you have somebody out this way, let me know.
Well, and ironically, Matt, I have a really good friend that moved from here out to Monument, and
Oh,
he's a realtor. His name's Paul Wagner, and he works for Better
Ah.
Homes and Gardens. And I know the family, the whole family that owns that Better Homes and Gardens down there in
interesting.
Colorado Springs area. Yeah,
Interesting.
all the kids went
Should
to the school.
refer them.
Yeah.
I think they'd do better with Key.
Right.
Just
I can
saying,
get him
Tom,
to
you can
switch
get
over.
your,
But he keeps
you
saying,
can
"You
get
need to
your
come
dues
back."
paid for.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't think so, Paul. But
That's funny.
yeah.
That's funny. Oh, that's cool. That's very
Yeah.
fun. All right.
All
Thank
right.
you
All
guys.
right, I'm gonna run. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.